Hey guys, welcome back to day 4 of the new account. Well, technically day 5, but that's because I forgot to record this video until we were an hour after reset. This is technically day 4, and I'm gonna call it day 4, and I don't care if anyone agrees with that or not. This is now day 4, and I wanted to highlight a little more of just a specific character, because obviously the account's going pretty well. I've spent a little bit, and we have our first 2 6-stars. Currently, I'm a little bit stuck on Arbiter missions, mostly because of Arena. I don't want to use gems for Arena tokens. I want to use it for stamina, just so I can try to steamroll through these a little bit faster. But eventually, I'm going to get stuck by get 3 rank 6 champions. And even then, getting a couple more champions. I forget where it is. Right here. Equip 4 champions level right here. Get 4 rank 6 champions. This is really hard early on, and this is going to be a big focus for me. I have 1 5-star chicken left. I have the ability to get my second 5-star, but that's only halfway there on one of the 2 that I need. So I'm going to be starting to reach a couple of roadblocks, but because I have THOLIN, I think I'm going to be able to manage this a little bit easier. And I want to explain why a little bit more, because THOLIN, in my opinion, is the single best promo code champion that you can start with right now. Now, this guy is a freak for a couple of reasons. Now, obviously, there are some other good promo code champions. We got Tahunarok, who is amazing support, but really doesn't really work because she doesn't do a lot of damage. In early game, you want to try to build your damage dealers first, okay? Next, we have Alice, which is pretty solid as well. And we also have Supreme Gaelic, who no longer is attainable, right? Sun Wukong, also incredibly powerful, great for Arena. But why do I think THOLIN is the best starter, or at least one of the best starters? Well, if you want to get one of the best starts in Raid Shadow Legends, use the link in my description below to get a free legendary champion, Narma the Returned, as well as 3 amazing epic champions as you level up. Now, the way that you're going to do this is you're going to log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Then you're going to click the link in the description, register with a brand new email. Then you're going to launch Raid, complete the tutorial, and as you go to your inbox, you are going to be able to claim your first legendary champion. Next, you're going to get Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you level up. Please don't let this insane offer pass you by, and click on my link now to get the start that you deserve. It has a lot to do with his kit. Now, first of all, you might think that his A1 is like most characters. It's mediocre. Well, that's just not the case. His A1 is a big part as to why I think he's so good. Mostly because it's an AoE damage hitter. Before attacking, he has a chance of placing weaken, which is actually a pretty okay chance for AoE. Has an extra chance to place it if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance, boss, or minion, cannot be resisted by enemies of those kind of classifications, and it also grants an extra turn if the weaken debuff is placed on everyone. Now, the amount of times that this happens is ridiculous. He is just cycling through extra turns like crazy. Basically a 25% chance every time he uses his A1 to go again. And you know what else he's going to put out? More A1. And it also combos with more of his kit, which I'll get to very, very shortly. Also, weaken is great. Early on, it's very hard to get weaken champs. Personally, I'm using Uugo, who has decreased defense, which you get from my download link. And essentially, these pair very well together, and THOLIN is just constantly placing it and cycling. His A2 also is quite good. So he attacks twice, each hit ignores defense. And if they're from, once again, the classification, each hit ignores 50% instead. It also decreases the target's attack by 5% up to 25% and increases this champion's attack. So he also scales and makes it harder for him to get killed. Next, we get to the A3, attack all enemies twice before attacking, places increased attack. Each crit landed increases the damage dealt of the second hit. This stacks up like crazy because against AoE waves, because once again, this is an AoE skill, he's going to land a lot more damage. It also ignores unkillable and more importantly, shield. And then we get to the passive. Activates Demon Breaker, which is his A1, every 5th turn this champion takes. Enemies from the Corrupted Alliance, bosses, and minions cannot land a crit. So he can't be crit. He's cycling his A1. He's using his A1 every 5th turn for free. He lowers the target's attack, gains more attack, and he increases attack on himself. And he puts out weaken. So not only is he putting a debuff that I'm having a hard time finding early game, he's also increasing his attack, which is very hard to fit into your teams early on. You have to use like a spirit host, for example, I don't know, he just does so many things that simply are very hard to get. Now, he is built in lifesteal. I also have a pinpoint set just because I managed to get one from the event dungeon. I just leveled a tiny bit. Resistance, I don't really need on him. And then I slapped this artifact here just for some extra attack. Stat-wise, he could be a lot faster. I would love to get him with more speed. His attack and his crit rate are decent. Obviously, you know, some decent crit damage for where I am 4 days in. I mean, it's a bit rough. And THOLIN, I want to show off a little bit of his his solo bossing capabilities. So here we go to Dragon. Dragon's probably the most important dungeon early on, or even pretty much later on, because of this speed set. Also, lifesteal is very valuable, accuracy. There are a lot of good sets in here. You're gonna want to push your dragon as much as you can. And essentially, the way that I'm going to be showing THOLIN off is with this. So I'm running a single DPS carry right here, and we're going to be leveling food. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, you have to get a lot of 6 stars, not only for the Arbiter quests, which are very important and are generally the guide you want to follow early game. They're also incredibly important because you get around like 50% more stats or something. It's around there. That's kind of a loose number, but it is a lot when it comes to stats. It also allows you to get banners, which I don't really have any to show you, but these can have accuracy mains, they can have speed substats. They are incredibly, incredibly important. And not only that, you can unlock some of the best masteries in the game, like War Master, which is most of my clan boss damage. Clan boss is like the most important thing early on, and War Master is doing most of my damage for me for right now. There are a lot of reasons to farm your 6-star. And if you're forced to do this for an event, for a storyline, or a tournament, you're gonna wanna farm some XP alongside, conserve some stamina, save some time. You know what it is. And THOLIN solos the hell out of these things. Now, I'm gonna do quickly a team setup. As you can see, I was farming some some uncommons earlier. This is kind of my campaign based team, so I'm gonna make a new one. We're gonna put in THOLIN with the aura off rip. We're gonna put in our commons, and then I'm gonna go over to THOLIN. I'm going to disable his A2. You don't have to do this, but it's just what I find easiest on the first 2 rounds so that he starts to clear things a little bit sooner. If you want to swap your food out, just swap them out there. I realized that we can put another one in. Whoops. And now we're able to go THOLIN solo DPS. Obviously, we're picking the positive affinity because it's a friggin' solo. We got to give him as many chances as we can. He's just going to rip through. Now, of course, we are going to struggle a little bit depending on certain RNG, but because of the mastery to counterattack and the AoE completely steamrolls through, and we're able to go. So now we're going to get to the point where his passive is going to take effect, and you're going to see him do 2 attacks. Now that's a counterattack. That's not important, but right there, he's going to use the ability and then uses A3, boom, wave cleared, and we get to the boss. Now, something I want you guys to really focus on is the extra turns. Right there, instantly extra turn, but I want you guys to try to pay attention a little bit. Keep in mind, this is an unbooked THOLIN. I'm never going to book my THOLIN because every single time he places weaken, which is a 50% chance because the boss counts as demon, like the whatever the classification it was, the THOLIN's just going to continuously stack that extra attack, lowering the boss's attack, and also increasing his own attack. I don't need anything else to help him because it's sustaining with that lifesteal set. THOLIN is just goated. And of course, this does carry over to other things. I mean, Ice Golem, you could do something similar. Spider Den, you could do something similar. The only thing is you do kind of need a full team for this just because it is hard for him to do it himself, but you can still basically solo with him in a lot of areas. And his kit just simply works everywhere. I mean, boss content, extra turn, extra turn, extra turn, self-sustaining his buffs with the increased attack, increasing his stats, and he can't get crit ever, and he has better bonuses and land rates against basically every boss in the game. It is freaking weird how good he is. Also, a couple other things before I end off the THOLIN rant on why he's so good. First of all, coalition event is very important if you are starting around this time. I mean, I got epic skill books, I got some shards, I got some relics, which I shouldn't have already. I got some extra rewards. I mean, this is very important, and it was how I was able to get my 6-star on day 2 because of this 5-star chicken. THOLIN is key for a lot of these. So you're going to beat them a lot sooner if you use the THOLIN promo code. Apart from that, you also are able to get his soul very early. Now, I've already gotten his first soul. If I push really hard, I might even be able to get his 3-star soul. I'm not 100% sure yet. But either way, when I get to level 42, I'm going to be able to unlock Blessing. And Blessings, as you can see, gain like a lot of HP, for example. For the early ones, you get some certain bonuses. Now, I'm not sure which one to put on yet because I haven't really looked into it, but you can kind of see, for example, decreases the target's defense by 1% per hit, up to 10% for champions, 5% for bosses, and he also gets 7,500 HP, right? This is just for free because I picked him. This is stuff that Supreme Gaelic literally never would have been able to get, right? A bunch of different bonuses there. And apart from Void Affinity, I think Force is actually the best affinity to start with because what you're going to have early on is a lot of magic-based units. Simply, there's more magic affinity units in this game. Now, it doesn't really show very well on my roster because I have a lot of varied units, but as you progress through your game, as you play, you're really going to notice that Force Affinity nukers are a lot more valuable because of the amount of magic units. So, in places like Arena, in places like really everywhere, you're going to get a little bit more value. Also, Spirit Affinity nukers are very rare compared to the other two types. So, it's going to be a lot less likely that THOLIN gets countered. Now, obviously, Sun Wukong is going to counter him, blah, 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 blah. But overall, I think THOLIN is insane. His potential is ridiculous. And trust me, he hits like an absolute monster. Now, a couple things before I go, just general progress stuff. Apart from storyline, I've also been doing the clan bosses. I got to my first 2 6-stars. So, for example, over here on normal, you could see that I'm getting over 7 million damage. Now, obviously, I'm running Rector for the support. Narma is there for poisons, poison sensitivity, and support. Kale is there for a little bit of poisoning, even though he's not booked or leveled. I've been neglecting him, honestly. We also have Uugo with the War Master, and also THOLIN with the War Master. Uugo does debuffs and support. THOLIN just continuously stacks buffs and debuffs over and over again, and extra turns. It's great. I'm already doubling what normal is, and on hard guild boss, I'm already doing about 6 million, which, if you see here, is about the second chest. Now, I can 3-key this, or actually even, I could 2-key this, but I'm not going to yet because I don't have the key. When I get the key, I'm probably going to put it into hard. Now, clan boss, I'll probably do a video on this specifically, is very important. For example, I just started clan boss, been playing for 4 days. One of the days I didn't claim guild boss, and I already have gotten an epic book. I've already gotten some usable gear, right? There's a lot of benefit here, and you have to push clan boss first. This is your main thing you want to focus. You want to focus storyline just to get to the Arbiter quests sooner. I'm trying to do it in about a month just because I think it's a lot of fun. And then you also want to push clan boss, and that's essentially it. And you want to push your 6-stars, and that's essentially it. The 6-stars allow you to do the storyline, they allow you to do clan boss, and the ultimate goal is to be Ultra Nightmare. This has a chance to give you sacreds, this has a chance to give you diamonds, this has a chance to give you other summons, legendary books. I mean, this is probably the best source of rewards in the game. You want to push this as soon as you possibly can. Super important, and this is a big focus. So once I am done with getting my Rector up and getting, honestly, I don't know what my 4th 6-star will be. I'm going to essentially just put everything into getting gear, which unlocks the ability to push clan boss even more, and obviously push clan boss from there. So with that being said, I'm a little stuck, but I won't be for long, and we'll see how things go. Also, we got some sacreds for when we get a 2x, so that'll be pretty hype. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, like and subscribe, all that stuff. That's it for me, Destin, signing out.